Aloha, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Alaka'i, the podcast. I'm your host today, Eli Hadley, and I'm joined by my co-host, Lexi Langley, who it is really sad today. This is Lexi's last episode, and we're going to take time to tribute to her.
Aww.
But how are you doing, Lexi?
I'm great. I'm getting ready to leave the island.
Wow.
So that's bittersweet. I'm excited for, the future, but sad to, this is the classic graduation type thing. You're sad and happy at the same time. So
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm doing really well. Thanks for asking.
Well, thanks for telling us. And it's really cool. So Lex just graduated, as did our friend Terrell, who we're talking to today, Terrell Wu. So Terrell is wearing a very nice Pizza Planet jacket.
Bam.
Just describe it for the listeners. It's got a really cool, white jacket, really, really cool graphics. So go get yourself one.
Yeah, it's fashionista moment.
Honestly.
Wow.
Thank you. I love dressing up.
Wearing the fancy stuff today. So Terrell, you're graduated.
Yeah.
Can you start by telling us about yourself?
Yeah. I'm Terrell Wu. I'm from Malaysia, born and raised, the only member in the family that's from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Wow.
Yeah. And I've been a member for ever since 2010, so 13 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's very long.
How old were you when you were baptized?
I joined the church when I was 13.
13. And how did you hear about the church? What was your journey to getting baptized?
Yeah. So at first, the missionaries came to my mom and asked if she wanted to learn about the gospel, but she wasn't that interested. Like, they met with her for like 2 weeks and stuff. But then the missionaries turned to me and asked me like if I wanted to learn instead with my mom's permission. And so because I felt bad for them, because they travel all the way to my house,
Aww.
20 minutes from their home, and just to see me and to get rejected, I feel bad for them. So I just took the opportunity to learn. I was like, what's the harm of learning? This was me just thinking when I was 13, you know.
Right.
And then after 6 weeks of learning, I joined a church. I was baptized.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What a faithful child. That is
Wow.
really incredible.
Yeah, and I never missed church ever since.
Not once?
Yeah. Nope. I mean, probably like a couple of times that I did miss, but not unintentionally, of course.
Sure.
And then I served my mission in Australia, in Sydney.
No
Nice.
way.
Yeah.
You
Back in-
lucky duck.
Back in 2015 to 2017. So
Wow. Sydney. I just went to Sydney in November.
How was
and it was the best week of my life. I want to go back.
yeah, where did you go?
We were in Sydney the whole time. So I went with my roommates and we stayed in North Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would go down to South Sydney. We went to like Manly Beach.
Ah, yeah, of course.
Went to a few beaches.
Bondi Beach.
Yeah, Bondi. There was one called, I think, I'm probably saying this wrong, but I think it was like Balmoral Beach or something.
I don't think that's in my area, but
Okay,
yeah.
but yeah, anyways, I'm jealous. Sydney is really cool. So wow, that's awesome. And then, so you just graduated. What did you major in?
I majored in communication, media, and culture, and I minored in business marketing, theater, and health and human performance.
Wow. It's a
Wow.
pretty stacked resume you got
Yeah,
there.
It is.
that's awesome. So where are you going from here?
Yeah, so right now, as of you hearing this, everybody, I'm doing my academic training at the Financial Aid and Scholarship Department.
Nice.
I'm an academic trainee, so I'm almost helping. At first, I thought I was just helping our students, but I'm helping everybody with their scholarships, with the information, not just, like doing the system stuff. But mostly I'll just help them with the information. If they have any questions, I can answer them. I'm still learning. It's only my 3rd day.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And after academic training, I plan to do grad school. And I hope to be able to do MFA in acting.
Wow.
Wow.
So I hope when I apply for school, I bet I'll get good scholarships, and the school will give me enough for me to afford, because I'm a foreign student, right? And I'm planning to do it here in the U.S. And because also, if you know Michelle Yeoh, she just won her Oscar. It took her 40 years to become Best Actress, nominated and won Best Actress. And it was a sign for me. Not that she was one of the signs, but with all of my friends encouraging me to pursue whatever I want in life, and I don't want to be the one wasting my life. Abrielle's cheering if you can't see. Yeah, I want to be able to, fulfill my dreams. I don't want to feel that I've regretted my life, because when I was younger, I didn't have a lot of opportunities. I wasn't able to act or sing a lot or at all until I came here to BYU-Hawaii.
Wow.
And the Densleys, Aaron and Crystal Densley, they inspired me a lot with their skills and assets to help me to become a better playwright, director, and an actor as well, and inspired me to keep going and keep doing it. And I produced 3 plays here, and I really want to keep doing it.
Wow.
And it's so fun to do it, and I love like acting on stage. I love the feeling of just you practiced a lot and then you show it to people, and then like of course if you watch Mamma Mia on campus or Ola Ko'ola Loa and many other plays that was here, like it just has an incredible feeling for me.
Absolutely.
And even in Culture Night, I performed 6 this last year. No, this year,
This
right?
year,
This
just
year,
in
never mind.
March, yeah.
This year, well, last year I did 5 cultures,
Wow.
and I just felt like the stage was something I like to be at.
Yeah.
To just have fun.
Yeah, that is so with. Do you want to pursue like production and acting, or both, or just one?
Yeah,
Like,
I think I want to do acting.
Okay.
But we'll see how life goes, and every decision you make will have an impact, and maybe it'll trigger
Yeah.
something else I like about the
right.
little part of the theater life or production
Yeah.
life. And we'll see where I go from there. And I hope I'll be able to feel very, very happy, and because fulfilling passion so far. Like,
Yeah.
I feel very happy, and I want to keep that feeling going.
Yeah, that's amazing, and we're at such a great age that our lives are only just beginning, and you discovered a huge part of yourself coming to BYU Hawaii.
exactly.
That there's still so much you can discover and opportunities and things to learn. So that's really exciting. And acting. So do you like to do plays or musicals? Do you prefer like the singing and the acting and the dancing, or like just acting? Like,
Yeah. I'm
what?
still very new to the musical world.
Okay. Okay.
But I think I learned more of acting than musical.
Okay.
Because Mamma Mia was my first ever one that I've ever done. And this next one that we're having, I'm promoting it now. Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Oh, no way.
Come
Oh my
watch
gosh,
us
I didn't
this
know that.
next 6 weeks that we're gonna rehearse. Aubrielle's in it too. She's
Hey.
dancing and singing it. She's the dance captain too. So
Oh, wow.
shouting her out.
Okay. Yeah, Aubrey.
Yeah, I'm in it too. I'm Asher in the musical. Oh, and Nick, if you wanna know if he's there, he's right
Hey.
there. He's the pharaoh right there.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, but you guys can come watch us if this episode.
Do you
is
have
up before
dates for?
then. So for now, let me check.
It's June 8th is when it starts, right?
Yes, that's right. It's on just 1 week.
Okay.
So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Saturday is matinee.
Man, I will not be on the island, but
Well, we will be sharing it to... Some of us will be sharing it. It won't be online, but we'll be sharing it to people who want to watch it.
okay.
Only to our close ones. Yeah, we're not supposed to share like most of the
Wow.
things.
Okay, so what we wanted to ask you about your culture night experience. Which clubs did you perform in this past culture night?
Yeah, I was in Japan, Hawaii, rock and roll, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and what was the other one? Japan. Wait, I already said Japan. There was one in the middle or towards the end. What is it called? I don't remember.
But it's okay. It's
You're
okay. That's still really cool though. So there's 6 of them.
I did 6.
Oh my goodness.
It'll come back to me.
If you
Latin America.
Latin
There we go.
America. Okay. Oh my goodness, that one was incredible.
It was
I wish I
fun.
would have done Latin America, honestly.
I only did salsa though. Salsa was fun. Easy to learn.
Good.
And Terrell, how many credits were you taking during that semester? Well, you were doing 6 clubs
Yep.
and a lot of other things. How many credits were you taking?
Okay. In my own knowledge and experience and my whole physicality of like doing the whole semester, it was 20 credits. But it was marked as 19. Still, it's a lot.
That's still,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I did that because I just wanted to do fun classes at the end of my semesters because I
Yeah.
wasn't able to do it in my beginning ones. So I took like the 8 credits that I have, or like 2 of them. 4 credits were both in both choirs, in Alaka'i Chamber Choir and Seasider Singers, and then the other 4 credits were in last semester's play for Ola Ko'ola Loa.
Wow.
Yeah.
So cool. I love what you said about Michelle Yeoh a couple minutes ago because
Yeah.
I just finally watched that movie, Everything Everywhere
You
at
finally
Once.
did?
I did, and I
oh
loved
my
it.
goodness.
And the movie, like, and her story in that movie, the character,
Mm-hmm.
it's all about, the regrets in life, right? You know, the different paths we can take in life and how we don't want to regret anything. And it sounds like you're taking the lessons of that movie, as well as Michelle Yeoh's Oscar win, right? Like anything is possible.
It is, yeah. And honestly, I told this to everyone, and I told this to myself. If it takes me 40 years to win an Oscar as well, I would. I mean, it took her 40 years to just do whatever she likes, and she probably didn't expect to win it anyways, but she just did it because she loves it.
Yeah.
And with the movie itself, like it make me feel there's so much representation and inclusion for me, and I relate to the movie so well because there's so many possibilities and so many like actions that I can make in order to become my best self, even though so-called like in the reality that we are at right now feels like it's always a failure, but these failures are for us to grow, and it's building me to become a better person each day. So yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
that.
And it's evident that you are very driven, and you have goals, and you will do what it takes to achieve them. And that's really amazing. And so speaking of that, clearly coming to BYU Hawaii, it sounds like it's kind of changed the course of your life. And that's really awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about your story, about how you came to BYU Hawaii?
Yeah, of course. So one thing that you guys should know is that it took me 3 times to apply to get here.
Wow.
So I'll tell you the short little story before the bigger context of why I was rejected. So the first time I was rejected was because my grades wasn't high enough back in secondary school. So in Malaysia, we have the British system. We don't have high school or middle school, or what's the other one? The one before
elementary school.
Elementary school, yeah. So for us, it's only primary school and secondary school. So in my secondary school, my GPA wasn't very high. I checked it with Mutia the other day because she was like interviewing me, and I was only at 2.6 CGPA, so it wasn't that good. I only had a 1A, and I failed a lot of classes. But I was able to pass that kind of so-called entrance exam. It's a Malaysian certificate where you can take that certificate to go to colleges, or like just to show that you did graduate in that course. In that course. And then they told me I wasn't able to apply it because my grades wasn't high enough. So I took the distance learning course that they have. On that time, it wasn't Pathway. And then I got straight A's, 4.0 GPA. Second time I applied for the school, they rejected me again. But here's the funny part. On my second try, the IWOC program accepted me. But the school didn't.
Oh, what?
Right? That was weird. And I was like, okay, like, does that mean I'm accepted at all or whatever? And then I emailed them, and then they told me like, oh, just take more classes, you'll be fine. I'm like, okay, I took more classes, got straight A's again, 4.0 GPA. On my third try, I applied it, I got rejected again. And then they didn't tell me the reason why or any specific reasons. And I'm wondering why are they like not letting me go to school? Like my dream was to go to BYU Hawaii. Like I prayed about it, and I had a strong answer from Heavenly Father that I needed to be here. And why am I not getting the reason? Why am I not like
getting the acceptance?
Right now. And then I emailed them, like people that's here. Like I had a stronger relationship with people that's here that communicated with them. And then that's when I was able to get in on my 4th try. So amongst that context, you think like, that you have to have perseverance and you have to not give up on doing that. It's true. But on a bigger picture, the reason why I was rejected so many times is divine intervention, of course. Because in that same two years that I was applying, I had to help my relatives and help my aunt, my grandma, my mom with their situation that's happening. So a lot of my relatives actually passed away in that year when I was in Malaysia.
Wow.
After I finished my mission. And my aunt had organ failure, and she was about to die, but she was alive again after that. So it was a Jesus moment right there for me to see her, doctor saying that she's dying, but then she was alive the next day. I gave her a priesthood blessing, and she was able to, be awake the next day, and then she was able to live for another 2 years.
Wow.
And then my grandmother passed away that year. On my birthday, to be exact.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. She's in a better place now. She was suffering the whole time, and she always needed my help. And I always needed to bring her to the doctors to check up and to help her with her medicine and all that. And then in that same year as well, before I flew to BYU Hawaii, was my mom had kidney cancer. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
At the same time. So she's still alive right now, and I'm very happy for that. And she's still very proud of me that I graduated. And she's just amazed that I've able to achieve all these things so far. So in the big scope of the bigger picture thing, I realized there's a reason why the Lord, not stop me from coming, but He needed me to be in Malaysia. He needed me to take care of my family who are not members, who doesn't believe in the church, but believes in my example. I'm able to help them and be kind to them. That's what we learn in church. You have to serve others in order for others to feel loved. And my family was, it's an Asian household, so they don't know what kindness is like through words, but they know it through actions.
Gotcha.
So I was able to show my kind gestures to them. I was able to be free enough to help them and to be able to be there for them when they needed it. And so the whole 2 years of being rejected, it was awful at first, but now that I look back, that I'm so grateful that Heavenly Father didn't let me come to BYU-Hawaii in those 2 years, because who else will be there for my family members if I wasn't there,
Yeah.
And I'm happy that I had all these experiences, because it really humbled me, because it really helped me to understand that, okay, I have all these trials that I'm facing and all these things that's happening in front of me. I shouldn't give up. And I should always see that there's always reason that these things happen. And I always keep in mind of the words of from Walt Disney. If you watch Meet the Robinsons, my favorite movie, Disney movie of all time, is keep moving forward. Abriel agrees. It's true, because if I gave up so easily, then I wouldn't be able to have this life today. It's all because I persevered, and my life is abnormal because I was born without a dad. My mom is a single mom. She took care of me all by herself, and she had me make my own decisions my whole life. So when I was 13, that's when I joined the church, right? So she had me make the decision to do so, and then my whole life so far, I've been independent enough to make decisions, to be able to hopefully know I'm making the right choices.
Right.
I mean, today, I make the right choices because I'm summa cum laude, Yeah, and I studied really hard because I'm not a very smart student. I wish I was talented in study, but I'm not that. But I know for sure that I am the kind of person who won't give up, and the person who will do whatever it takes to fulfill my goals. If it's not the kind of result that I want, but if I succeed regardless, then I'm happy. I'm happy today because I became the person who I never thought I would be. And my little boy self, who watched Disney Channel while growing up, never knew could get to the US, never knew that he could act, never knew he could get into a musical, let alone also become one of the best students in BYU-Hawaii, being summa cum laude again. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And I think with that too, being able to be patient and, like you said, humble through the process of being rejected, and having to kind of okay, this is God's timing. He is molding me the way that He needs me to be. I'm sure as you look back, you can see His hand in your life. And I think that's really cool. Just as we all get older, the further we walk in life, we can turn around and look back, and everything seems to kind of work together for our good. And that's really awesome. Thank you for sharing with us your story of coming to BYU-Hawaii. We're so happy for you and so proud of you. And you are everything that I think this university envisioned. So that's awesome. And then, Eli, do you want to share your story of how you got to BYU-Hawaii?
Yeah, sure. It's not nearly as interesting as Terrell's.
No, it's always interesting.
Me either.
A story is nice. Always nice.
But again, comparison is bad, right? It's something we should not do. So, I guess. Well, I grew up in Delaware. I think I mentioned that almost every podcast.
Hey, it's unique.
It's if there's a.
It's uncommon.
It's what?
Uncommon.
It is
It's
uncommon.
very uncommon.
A
Yeah.
lot of people are from Delaware. Here.
My sister and I think we're the only Delawareans here, so that I guess it's something that's a bit cool about us. But my whole life I just kind of thought I was meant for average things, to be an average person, right? That was just kind of the way I was like.
Wrong.
Well,
Eli's amazing.
Oh no, Terrell's amazing. We go all day, but I always felt like it was just kind of you're existing, right? I just felt like,
We're just here to vibe.
Yeah, we're just living life, you know. One day we're gonna die, right? We just live life, we get busy, right? And that sounds very depressing, and it is. I won't deny that it is. But what I really needed for myself was just to change, right? And to understand, like, hey, you know, that childlike wonder you have when you're a kid, you can have that again. You can get that back when you're an adult. So, you know, in high school, I didn't always put my trust in people who had my best interest at heart, or maybe I tried to find friends in a place where they weren't really treating me like a friend, more it's just like something to be used and everything. And so coming to BYU-Hawaii, it was a step for me of really treating myself the way I should be treated, right? This giving myself this new leaf to turn over, new opportunity, fresh start. And also just like I play at church school, right? Delaware, almost no church members. So very different environment. But it's where I've learned that I wanted to be a journalist or a writer of some kind, author, biographer, something like that. Just keep writing. Nice. And, you know, I don't think I would have gotten that because BYU-Hawaii is so good with the Alaka'i. It has a small staff, and so it was, I guess, easier for me to get on there because it wasn't as elite or exclusive. But yeah, and then leaving BYU-Hawaii for my mission, that was one of the hardest things ever. I mean, of course, leaving the people I love was the hardest, but having to like say goodbye for the pandemic, and then a few months after I went on the mission, you know, there were days there's almost like this religious experience coming back here in January when I was driving in the car from the airport here and saw the PCC and I saw everything, and I was like, wow, you know, I feel this heart flutter, you know, it's like I'm back here. This was my home for so long. It's my home again. And, you know, it is Hawaii, of course, but it's also home, right? And it's a place where we can see the mission of the church, like I think in its fullest form, because you see people from all over the world. I mean, that's what Zion should be, right?
Absolutely. True. Oh my goodness, I could not second that more.
And obviously, Zion, you know, might have issues, right? Everyone has issues. Yeah. But, you know, really here in I helped better understand how I can be a force for good, especially in relation to privilege, in relation to experiences. My favorite line from any book is Opening the Great Gatsby, where the narrator tells us that anytime you feel like criticizing someone, consider that they haven't had the same experiences, opportunities you've had in your life. And I love that. And, you know, just understanding that everyone comes from a different place, but we're all here for a similar reason. We're all trying to find some reason to keep going.
Quite literally. And I think a theme that as Terrell and I are both, you know, just graduated, so we are officially alumni. Just kind of as I think back to hearing so many different people's experiences coming to this university, that theme is just heard over and over, that this place is so special, and what a cool thing that every student feels that way. Yeah. Like it's not just like, oh, they had a good experience at BYU-Hawaii, we all, those that have like come to this university as a student especially, I think we feel it, and I'm just like, wow, I feel so grateful that I was like chosen to come here and to be someone that got to be so influenced by this environment, because it is, like you said, quite literally Zion. Like where else in the world do we get to come to a university? Because here's the thing, you both have shared that coming to this university has kind of molded you and made your future clearer. Yes. To see what career path you wanted to take. And I think college does that. I think people, when you're in high school, you assume you're going to come to college to further your career, but really you come to college to figure out what you even like to do. And then from there you go, okay, now I have a degree. I'm not sure if I even wanted this degree, but I have a degree, and now I got to figure out what I'm going to do with it. And so I could go on and on about this university, but that's really awesome. Yeah. I'm glad that you both have kind of found yourselves here, and that this place has been so special for you, because it's been special for me too. Yeah.
Sure. Can I say a little bit about like that as well? Is that there's a reason why I felt that I needed to stay here for another year for my AT, because I could have gone anywhere. I could have gone to Utah or back at home or whatnot. But I felt there was a sense of purpose for me to stay. And lo and behold, even like I only applied for like basically like 3 jobs here. I applied for a lot of jobs, but I felt a very strong feeling to stay. And I prayed about it, and I applied for 1 job, and that's how I got this job that I have right now for my academic training. And I couldn't think of anything else. And I know for sure that the Lord is working his way in my life, because I think he knew that I needed to be here for another year and to see what's going to happen. And I don't know what's
Maybe
gonna
you're going to
happen.
get married.
We'll see.
Maybe.
I'm not in a relationship at the moment at all, so I don't know if that's
Hey
going to happen.
guys, hit up Terrell.
Yeah, he's available.
Yeah. But I also feel like the timeline's really short, so I don't feel like it will be smart or wise. I don't know I don't know how life goes. Life has
God will take care of it. One day you'll look back and you'll be like, oh,
Yes.
that was God's hand.
exactly.
mysterious
That's what I was
ways.
about to say. Like, if my life is already so chaotic and hectic all the way so far, then I think it'll continue to be chaotic, but it'll be in a good way. It'll be through the Lord's hands, and I think everything will work well and it'll be good. Hopefully.
Absolutely.
For
Yeah.
sure. Well, unfortunately, this is Lexi's last episode, so
Yeah.
she has not gotten to share her story of coming here and why she
Yeah.
decided to grace BYU-Hawaii with her presence. So we'd love to have Lexi tell us her story
Oh,
before we
you're-
wrap up.
Yes,
You're too
yes.
kind. You're too kind. Well, yeah, I guess this is like my last episode. So what better way to end it than to share how I got here and where I'm going. But yeah, I feel like a lot of students that come here are like passionate about, they always wanted to come here.
Yeah.
I never, not that I didn't want to come here, but I never ever like thought that it'd be a possibility, because I just grew up thinking, oh, Hawaii's way too expensive. It's way too far away. There's no way I could ever afford to go there,
That's still true, though.
Yeah, no, it is. It is still very true. And so when I was in high school, from the time I was a freshman in high school, I think I planned on going to ASU, which is Arizona State University, because I figured I could get like full ride scholarships, being an in-state student and everything. And so, and then I came to not BYU Hawaii. I came to Oahu when I was 16 with my dance team at my high school. And we had gone to the PCC, and I remember our tour guide was like Australian, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is the coolest thing in the whole world. She has an Australian accent. And I just remember that day that we were in Laie. I don't think I even saw the temple. I don't think I saw BYU Hawaii, but I in the moment, I didn't know what I was feeling, but I look back and I'm like, okay, I definitely felt something, because after that trip, I remember in the PCC thinking like, again, I was a junior, so I still had time before I was going to college, but I remember thinking like, what if I came here? And then, but immediately I was like, absolutely not. That's crazy. That was a crazy thought. Mm-hmm. Whatever, never thought about it again. And then it's my senior year of high school. It's like December, I think. And my best friend was like, again, I'm still planning on going to ASU. I'm pretty sure I'd already been accepted to ASU. And my best friend was like, you have to apply to BYU Provo. Like, it'd be dumb if you didn't apply to any other school. So you can't apply to just one college. Like, at least apply to Provo. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'll apply to Provo. So I applied to Provo, and then I was like, well, if I apply to Provo, like, I may as well apply to like the other BYUs, just because the application was basically done. But I knew for a fact I did not want to go to BYU Idaho, so I didn't apply to BYU Idaho. I applied to BYU Hawaii, and then I, again, not thinking anything of it. And then my mom came. I was in my room one day just like looking at all the different options I had at this point. I was looking at the different campuses, and I remember I was looking at BYU Hawaii's campus for the first time. I was looking at pictures, and I was just like kind of researching it that day. I didn't really know why. And then maybe like an hour later, my mom came in my room crying, and I was like, why are you crying? Did someone die? Like, what's going on? And she was like, I just have had like a very strong impression twice now that you need to change your first option on your application, because you can choose like which CES school is like your like number one choice. She's like, I just have a prompting that you need to change it to BYU Hawaii. And then I started crying because I was like, okay, first of all, you're freaking me out that you're crying about this. Like, does this mean I'm supposed to go to this school across the ocean? And then the other reason I started crying was because I think part of me, like, because I had already done that. Before she came to my room, I had already changed it to BYU-Hawaii being my first choice. And so I think when she told me that, I think it kind of confirmed, it was like God's way of confirming to me that it was going to happen. And I just remember like crying because I was like scared, low-key. I was like, I'm going to be so far away. Like, how is this going to even work out? Like, there were so many unknowns, and I was really kind of scared about it. But after that day, I just remember being like, okay, like, I've never wanted anything more in my life, and I just feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. And here we are. I had a really hard time my first year and a half out here. I did not, because it was COVID. Like, it was, so it was really hard. And but I know that it was exactly what I needed to, become the person that I am today. So I'm forever grateful for this university, and I've loved working at Alaka'i. Before I came here, my best friend and I, we always said we wanted to start a podcast together. And so when I started working for Alaka'i and I had the opportunity to be on the podcast team, I was so excited. So thank you all. Thank you to everyone who listens to this podcast. It's been an awesome opportunity. Thanks, Terrell, for coming on and being the last guest that I get to be on the episode with. And I love this university. For all you students out there, don't take it for granted. If you are struggling and you hate it here and you don't know why, keep enduring. Because I promise there is light at the end of the tunnel. I promise that. You, like Terrell and Eli, we've all said, you will look back one day and you will see it. You'll see the path that brought you to where you are, the good times, the bad times. But if you, like all of us, felt a draw to this school, you're here for a reason. And if you let it, as cheesy as this is, it will change your life. So those are my parting words of wisdom. Yeah.
Can I just say one thing about Lexi? We go to the same ward, by the way. She and her dad harmonized in her.
So good.
Singing. They were so good. Like, you sing and dance too. Why are you not in theater?
What? Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah,
So
Lexi,
sweet.
you're an amazing person.
Thank you.
Kind of regret I didn't get to know you more.
Me too.
Yeah, I only got to know you like when I was in like the last 2 classes
I've
ever had here in BYU-Hawaii. But you're an amazing person, Lexi. I think you're gonna succeed and with what you're doing right now, and I think with your attitude and your energy that you give to others, I think you'll be able to impact others and inspire others to do better.
Thank you, Terrell. That was so sweet. You made me cry.
I totally agree with Terrell's sentiment, and it's going to be very lonely now without Lexi.
Yeah,
it's going to be a boring podcast.
Eli's
now.
our main host.
Lexi
guys.
was the exciting host, okay? Like,
Eli,
the
no
energy.
way.
But I second all the things that they say, and you know, we all have. I think it's so easy when you're young, when you're 18, 19, right out of high school, and trying to figure life out. You think, okay, I have to do this. I have to be this right now. But really, I'm 23. I still don't know what I'm going to do completely. I know I want to do something with writing, but
You have so much time.
it'll all work out. Yeah. That's the thing. And, you know, like with you, Terrell, and you, Lexi, things all work out. We just have to enjoy the ride. And so if I would say just enjoy the ride at BYU-Hawaii and take advantage of it. Don't stay inside all day. You know, enjoy the sun, enjoy the ocean.
Enjoy the rain as much as you can.
Exactly.
It's a rainy day today here in Malaysia.
Enjoy the people and just all the opportunities you have to, you know, to soak in all the things that the school offers and this community, and to be a person that gives back to the community as well. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
but yeah, it's been good to be here, but we will see you all later with a new host.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, Lexi.